Okay, so my name's Ryan Toomey. This is my truck. I'm not driving right now. It makes me a little bit nervous, but it's okay. We're gonna be doing some poetry analysis today, and we're in a second. I'm gonna let you know who the publisher of this is, what the date when this was published, and and introduce David here.
All right, here's David, number 2 group member, probably the best group member here. State bound for Science Olympiad at 6 p.m. Yep. And after Ryan's introduction to the poem and author, I will be talking about our performance. We're gonna give you a little action. I'm Javier, team captain number 1. After Toomey explains all the stuff in the beginning and we acted out, I'm going to be doing some trivia, some quiz games. I'll be asking you some questions, you'll be answering those questions, and now it's just Hi, I'm Emerson. After all that stuff, we have the 3-sentence thesis. No plagiarism, we don't copy each other, we have our own words.
Hello, I'm Cameron, I'm Christian, and come to Taco Tuesday, El Toro, I'll be there.
Hello, I'm Sam Rackman. I do sound effects, and I'm not an AP Lang. Or lit. Hey, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm Josh. I'm driving.
Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm only here for the food.
Cameron's here because ours is the best video.
Who are you calling?
I'm calling the police because your project is so awesome.
Dulce et Decorum Est by Wilfred Owen. Bent double like old beggars under sacks. Knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge. Till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas, gas, quick boys, in ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea I saw him drowning. In all my dreams before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face, like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest the children ardent for some despite glory, the old lie, Dulce et Decorum Est pro patria mori.
Okay, so here's a little bit of biographical information about Wilfred Owen. He was born on March 18th, 1893. He was born in Oswestry, Shropshire, England. He was killed November 4th in 1918 in France. He was a very influential poet on the subject matter of World War I, and he was one of the most influential poets on World War I poems. And as I mentioned earlier, Wilfred Owen served in the final stages of the war in the British Army. Just 1 week before the war ended, he died. He died on the Western Front and was awarded the Military Cross for his bravery in the battle. Most of his poems were written within the span of a year. And because Wilfred Owen was killed in action in 1918, most of his poems were published after his death, including Dulce et Decorum Est. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so basically, I'm gonna give you some facts about poetry now on this. On Dulce, lower. On Dulce et Decorum Est by Wilfred Owen. Basically, publication date was 1920, It was published, like basically right after World War One. So, of course, during this time, the war was still fresh in people's minds, and it was very traumatic for some people. And coming back for it, like they called them the Lost Generation because there were so many people that died in it. And so that's the world context, and that's where this poem kind of comes from. And this influences it because it was very bleak. It was a very bleak moment in the world at this time. And there's some important shifts in this poem. Like there's a shift in tone right after he says of gas shells dropping softly behind. And the shift, the tone is more panicked. And he starts depicting the scene of a gas attack in the trenches. Another shift is there's a shift in focus right after this stanza for when he goes and he shifts from talking about reality to talking about his dreams. He's describing how he basically has like dreams of this guy that he saw dying because he couldn't get his gas mask in time. There's a shift in focus right after that part where he talks about the event as he's looking back at it in the past, and he's talking about how he can't basically forget this moment that was so, traumatic in his life. And there's a shift in tone at the very end when there's a Latin phrase at the end that says Dulce et Decorum Est pro Patria Mori, and what this is saying is it is sweet and fitting to die for the homeland. So it shifts from being more sad tone to a really honorable tone. And that's it. That was long.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I'm here to talk about the literary elements and the strategies that he uses. Wilfred Owen uses like vivid imagery and descriptive diction to kind of elicit an emotional response and like bring the audience to the trenches inside the war, like make them see all the stuff that's going on. He uses like the imagery of like limped on bloodshot and the gas shells dropping and the man in fire just to symbolize like this is such a serious moment, these people are like dying for it. But then he uses strategies like parallelism to bring out like the contrast between there's all this pain, but there's beauty in this suffering. Like there's a reason for all this going down, Oh, you're still here? Oh God. So yeah, he uses things like, I don't know, froth corrupted lungs and innocent tongues just to express like there's a reason for this to happen, but I don't know, there's just a very dreary look on all this pain and suffering. Like there's innocent people dying but it's all for the sake of the country. There's like a great honor in defending us. Dude, get out of here, I'm done.
Hey, you down there, the Hob. You ever hear about a 3-sentence thesis? Yeah, I'm about to give you one. All right, here it goes. In Dulce et Decorum Est, author Wilfred Owen highlights the horrors of World War I through his use of descriptive diction and vivid imagery. There are multiple shifts in both tone and focus that allows the author to parallel the bad and the good that comes from dying in the war. This parallel is emphasized at the end of the poem when he is describing all the bad things that happened to the soldiers, and then he goes on to say, Dulce et decorum est pro patria mori. This translates to, it is sweet and fitting to die for the homeland. This, coupled with vivid imagery and descriptive diction, allows the readers to understand what it's like to be a life of a soldier during World War I in the trenches! Welcome, everybody, to Poetry Trivia with Javier and Christian about the poem Dulce et Decorum Est. Let's get it going, baby. Question number 1. What's the author's name?
Correct answer. Wilfred Owen.
Bing, bing, bing. Question 2. What war is the poem about?
Correct answer. World War I.
Number 3. What is the title translation? Dulce et Decorum Est, if you didn't know the title.
Correct answer. It is sweet and fitting.
Bang. Number 4. What are the 2 literary techniques the author uses?
Correct answer. Vivid imagery and descriptive diction.
Number 5. How did the soldiers die?
Correct answer. Gas.
Number 6. What is the overall meaning of the poem?
Correct answer. It is honorable to die for your homeland.
Number 7. Who was driving To Me Struck?
Correct answer. Josh Orlett.
Question number 8. Who was the cameraman?
Correct answer. Me.
Number 9. Last question. How many rocks did a Marison throw?
Correct answer. 4.
That's the end of trivia. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.
Warning: the following clips may be hard to watch. Viewer discretion is advised. Bent double like old beggars under sacks, knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we cursed through sludge, till on the haunting flares we turned our backs, and towards our distant rest began to trudge. Men marched asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf even to the hoots of gas shells dropping softly behind. Gas, gas! Quick, boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire or lime. Dim through the misty panes and thick green light, as under a green sea, I saw him drowning. In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, gutting, choking, drowning. If in some smothering dreams, you too could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in, and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face, like a devil sick of sin. If you could hear, at every jolt, the blood come gargling from the froth-corrupted lungs, obscenest cancer, bitter as the cud, of vile, incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell with such high zest to children, ardent for some desperate glory, the old lie, Dulce et Decorum Est, pro patria mori.